Still coming. Yeah, because people brought tickets. Are we good to go? Okay, I think we'll close the doors and we'll start. This should be it. Wow, I'm not surprised. I would be doing the same thing as you to get into this room to hear Shaman Durek speak. And as Shaman Durek says, be your own damn guru, and I say find your own damn seating. I'm so glad you're all here. I really thank you for being, by the way, and thank you for coming to this amazing event. It gets only more spectacular every year and is in large part, obviously, to the beautiful people that get attracted to speak here, as well as who you are and what you bring. I can feel the up-leveling every year. So here's the thing. Nobody ever wakes up and calls themselves a shaman. It doesn't happen, and if they do, please run. Because they're not. And the shaman we're going to meet today is a sixth-generation gentleman who was born into some of the things I talk about what makes a shaman. They have a near-death experience. They have a mental crisis. They've been struck by lightning, or they meet in a psychic trance to a ferocious animal that eats and dismembers them and then blows them back into being with gifts and becomes their tutor. Well, the gentleman you're going to meet went through quite the near-death experience. In fact, he had a childhood I don't know most of us could have gotten out of, not only intact, but to be so resilient to really align himself with what he learned to be truth and release himself from the shackles of what was impelled upon him. And Shaman Durek, of course, as you guys know, if you're in this room, how big he is, People magazine, he was on Bling Empire, Netflix, some big celebrities work with him. Dave Asprey, who was a bit of a skeptic, had a 5-minute phone call with him, and when he was done, he was so shocked, he said, I'm writing the foreword to your book. If you haven't read the book yet, he's got a booth right down the hall, Spirit Hacking, phenomenal. I'm in the last chapter. So thought-provoking and so exactly, it's narrated by him, by the way, so it makes it even more exceptional because it's all his energy. And it is truth, truth, truth. It dismantles the matrix in a way that you can start to see it with such clean eyes and why we really came here, how we were meant to be. Also his beautiful cards and what I want to say, such a treat. He's stepping into his destiny. He's about to get married to the Princess of Norway and changing that whole paradigm, beautiful, beautiful, to this divine feminine woman and leader. And he really is a voice for our time. And it is such an honor and such a pleasure to introduce you to someone I call my mentor and I really adore, Shaman Durek.
I love you, darling. I am so completely overjoyed. That was so beautiful and so kind of you to say such beautiful words to me. I'm so honored. I just want to say thank you, for showing up and holding space for me to share with you love and devotion. And also, I just want you to know that I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Yeah. I'm proud of you because you're still here. You've gone through a lot in your life. I know it hasn't been easy to be in this human biological spacesuit, to choose our parents, our geographical location, if we're going to be male or female, and to come into this embodiment on a planet where your memory is completely erased. And you have to dive into darkness and then rise out of the darkness in order to lift our brothers and sisters who can't find their way home. There's really no other reason for you to be here other than to lift this planet, to truly demonstrate heaven on earth in your embodiment as a sovereign being of light, intelligence, beauty, passion, grace, wisdom, profound creativity. And everything inside of you, every single thing that you seek outside of you for wisdom and for clarity is already with you. And all you're doing, and all I'm here to do, I'm not your guru. I'm not someone who, because I have a lot of people who follow me or I have a book or I have any of these things that makes me up here and you're down here. I don't believe in that nonsense. There's no hierarchy in the spirit world. We don't play that game. We know that each and every one of us walk side by side as leaders and masters, sharing our wisdom, our grace, and our knowledge to continue to lift and shift this planet for the time frame that we are here. So the only thing that I'm doing here on this stage today is to remind you of what you already know. And to hold the sacred grace and wisdom for your beingness and being honorable to be in front of so many powerful masters and leaders who are here on this planet, who chose to come here at the most transformative time, this transitional time where we begin to alchemize darkness back into light. Exactly. Who let the dogs out? Woo, woo, woo. You see, I think it's always important, like, people always take spirituality and they make it this thing that it's about conforming into some idea of what spirituality is. Perhaps it's your yoga or your ayahuasca ceremony, or you going to church, or you bowing to Mecca, or you doing any of these things. And they take it so seriously that they beat up on themselves to be spiritual. No, darlings. No, no, no. Spirituality just means evolution. It means that you choose to evolve. That's it. If you do yoga, great. If you don't, you don't. It's your choice. You get to design this however you choose and however you want, and no one can tell you otherwise. Because this is your embodiment and your sovereignty that shines and embraces you as this divine principle that has chosen to be fully manifest in physical form in this lifetime. And there is no one like you in all of the world. So any of you who compare yourself or judge yourself or go, what this person's doing and what is that person doing and that person doing, that's such a waste of time. Because no one can be you. Because you are your absolute fantastic you that you could ever be. And no one can match that. That's why we have so many of us. Because God, spirit, source, however you want to interpret it, I call it God, because I love God, and I don't have a problem saying it. God likes to show itself in many forms. So beautiful, I think. So today, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Shaman Durek. I'm a 6th-generation shaman. I've been practicing shamanism since I was about 11 years old, came into it about 5 years old. Spent most of my time in my life as a childhood learning and understanding what the ancestors and what my family and what the knowledge and the teachings represented to me on a deeper core level. I also studied religion and traveled around the world, lived in countries like Israel, Egypt, Turkey. Understanding people from different walks of life gave me a lot of clarity. And you know what clarity it gave me? That we all want the same thing. We want to be seen. We want to matter. We want to be loved. We want to be able to show up on a planet where there's no war and suffering and pain and separation. And you know what? I say yes. I say yes that that's possible. And you know how that stays possible? When you start to understand the source code of God. People are like, what's the source code of God? Is it a number? Is that 1111? Is it 77? Is it 444? Is it 3? Is some new number, Shaman Durek? Is it 45, 85, 86, 800? No, not this time. Really what it is, it's understanding what is truly in the essence of divine love principle, source. Okay, so let me give it to you like this. Raise your hand if you're affected by all the things that are happening in the world right now. The wars, the suffering, the killings, all of these things. Raise your hands. I want to see them high. Let's see them high. Let's see those hands. Okay? Raise your hand if you get affected by people's negativities. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise those hands. Yeah, okay. Raise your hand if you say that you can't do something because you're holding on to something of the past that hurt you and it's still affecting you today. Raise your hands. Raise those hands up. Okay. Raise your hand if negativity gets to you. Raise your hand. Okay. So, what if I was to tell you that every single thing that you put your mind to, you are saying, I affirm it by God's command? That means what? That means that if I'm focusing on war and the world falling apart and whatever this is, and I'm talking at my friend's table, and I'm saying, oh, I'm a light worker. I'm here to change the world. I'm here to bring light into the world. Am I really? Am I? Huh? No, I'm not. You know why I'm not? Because my intention, which is my attention, is on the things of illusion. I am putting my mind, my words, in the place of continuing to call in more of that energy. Because as I am a sovereign being, what I place my mind on, I call in. We say in shamanism, you're calling it to you. So when I have friends who are like, oh my God, the war and the this and the that and the blah and the blah and the blah and the blah, I'm like, whose team are you on? Because all you're doing is giving power to that energy. When we focus on source code, we represent and understand God's illuminating code that exists in all things that make you feel what? I'm sorry? Good, loved, nurtured, cared for, prosperous, all levels of going upward and recognizing who and what you are. So if I'm sitting on the dinner table and a friend is going, so, you know, Shaman Durek, I have money problems. Expecto Patronus! Because what's coming out of their mouth, I'm like, why are you saying this to me? Why are you sitting claiming your money problems right here, right now? Why aren't you saying to me, Shaman Durek, in the past I had money problems, but I've decided to focus my attention on the source of prosperity and keep my mind there all the time. You see, people love to defend the things that cause them pain. I could say to someone, you don't have money problems. They go, oh, really, Shaman Durek, really? How are you going to say that to me? Do you know how much money I lost in my business last year? But you don't have money problems. Oh, really? Do you know what it was like for me growing up when I didn't have money and my father was barely making money? But you don't have money problems. Yeah, well, you know what it was like for me last year when I lost all that money and I couldn't even go on the trips that I wanted to with my kids? I was like, wow. I keep saying you don't have money problems, you don't have money problems. And my friend is sitting there just constantly fighting for his money problems. They fight, argue, bicker, and want to be right about the nonsense. Huh? Why? Is there some grand pride that we have for our suffering and that our suffering must be known? And please listen to my suffering because my suffering must be known. And I want you all to eat my suffering salad that I made for you at lunch. Because if you don't acknowledge my suffering, then I won't feel validated. And I won't feel like I'm doing something different in my life, which in really fact I'm really not, because I'm still talking about the suffering, therefore calling in more suffering. So all the masters, the angels, and all the elders and everything, you know, a lot of shamans, they'll give you like plant medicines. They go, here, take this medicine. Okay, they're going to see something. Because I'm not going to argue with them. I ask my friends in Peru and all over the world, I go, so what, you know what? He's like, you know what? I just give them the medicine. I sing some songs for them. And then they just tell me, oh my God, I see what happened to me when I was 5 years old. I see what happened to me. It was when I was 12. It was when I was 14. I was 15 years old. I can't believe that happened to me. Shaman's like, go to the river. They don't want to argue with you. They don't want to go into this tug of war with you of wanting to be right about nothing. So you tell someone, oh, I had a horrible relationship. This person is just driving me crazy. Okay, can you help me, Shaman Durek? Yes. So this person, obviously you attracted them because that's how you've been treating yourself. And so, you know, what we have to do is we have to shift the way you treat yourself, and then you will manifest a different person in front of you. Okay, I'm thinking getting back together with him. Do you have any more ayahuasca for this person? Yeah, I have to send them over to you. I'm sending them to the jungle now to take the medicine. Yes, okay, great. And the thing is, we don't have to be so hard on ourselves in our spiritual remembrance. You know why? Because people actually think that if they beat up on themselves enough to be spiritual, to have a mission, to have a purpose, and they hound themselves and hammer themselves and hammer themselves, they're going to be the perfect person on their mission and in the purpose. But that's not what happens, you see. What happens is you actually are saying to the universe that you like abuse, because you're the demonstrator of it. You're demonstrating it every time you tell yourself, I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. I didn't do enough. What if they don't this? What if they don't that? What if they don't who and what and whatever? People, you can never satisfy people and feel safe. You can't. Because you already got the stamp of approval. You know who you got the stamp of approval from? From God. So why are you looking for other people to give it to you? So you're beating up on yourself, and then you're asking yourself, how come I have money problems? How come I have this problem? How come I have that problem? And all the spirits are like, did they not realize that they just said yesterday they're not good enough? You think just because you say the word, I'm not good enough in your mind or out of your mouth, you think it's just a word? Do you think the words that come out of your mouth are just words? Do you know that energy creates what are called formulated energy grid patterns? That means every time you argue with your spouse, you are not only polluting your neighbors, polluting your plants, polluting your animals, polluting your children. Every single person who's in argument at that exact same time, all of that frequency joins together, and now you have earthquakes and hurricanes and famine, and you have war, and all of these things start accumulating, and people go, I don't know why these things are happening. Shaman Durek, why is all these things happening? I'm like, well, do you remember when I went to dinner at your house last Wednesday? And you and your husband just couldn't stop bickering on the table? That's how. Because we don't realize how powerful we are. So when you're not operating in source code, which means divine intelligence, right? When you talk to people, you're not talking to people to find something wrong with them. You're not here to condemn people. You're here to lift people. So it's always easy to see if you hold the source code inside of you, because if you're a person who's always saying bad things about people, that's not about them, that's about you. Because you're showing the codes that come from your being. You are literally writing script, you're writing code. You are, how do we say, you are creating codes that illuminate your reality. Illuminate your reality. The power that you have inside of you is so powerful that just your words and your thought alone. You don't like what you see? Someone says, oh, I see $10 in my bank account. I can't believe I only have $10 in my bank account. Shaman Durek, I'm doing everything. I'm doing all these manifestations, all these books I read. I ran on fire, burned my freaking feet. You know, I'm doing all these things. I went into this cold plunge. I even met with a guy and was freezing in the mountains. I took medicines. I was throwing up all night. I was doing all these things, and I still have $10 in my bank account. You have $10 in your bank account because you keep looking at the $10 in your bank account. Because you actually think that things change because you do a bunch of things. Things change because you choose to see something different. Because you're the creator. Raise your hand if you're a quantum creator. You're a quantum creator. That means every time you open your mouth, every time you think, you are deciding the reality for yourself. And every time you convince people of that reality, you're also reciting the reality for them. And you're doing it from a place of wanting to build a world where other people are inside of your world. But if you're going to build a world that's beautiful and filled with joy, love, and vibrations of harmony and freedom and elation and bliss and liberation. Because you have it. You have the ability to do it. You do. But you're not going to do it by being like a, serious poopy pants. Serious people are like, so today I'm going to yoga. Mm-hmm. Yes, and I'm a vegan. Mm-hmm. And, that's not very spiritual what you're doing right there. Okay, thank you. That's not how you meditate. You meditate, be serious. This is serious. Do you understand? So tomorrow I'm going to go chant at the temple, and I'm going to be doing my Buddhist chants. Mm-hmm. This person's boring. I'm so bored. I'm like, please, go. Do your chants, get your things done, walk with your robes, whatever you got to do, because this is boring. Can I get a house DJ up in here? Can I get some country music? Can I get something? Can I get some beats? Because I want to feel like The spiritual journey, people always say, the dark night of the soul. I'm like, who are you? The dark night of the soul? That's what you call it? The dark night of the soul. Coming to your home next week. Spirituality is the excitement of evolving, claiming and understanding that you are this powerful master in remembrance of your divinity on a planet that is held in physical matter, and that you get to shift energy like that. But if you're all like poopy pants and like ding a ding a ding a ding a ding, are we going to hang out? Don't you know today is the day that I meditate? Because people think angels walk around like, oh, you, child, have done well. Are you kidding me? They're like, yeah, baby. Come on now, stop getting get out of that funk. What are you doing? They're dancing around you. They're saying the funk, the funk. They're saying the funk, the funk. They're doing all kinds of things, wanting to get your attention, wanting you to lighten up. You know, there's a scripture in the Bible that says one cannot enter the kingdom unless they come as a child. I always love that scripture because when I studied world religion, I always loved that verse in Matthew's. You cannot enter the kingdom of heaven unless you come as a child. A child. Childlike. You know? Sticker books, action figures, coloring crayons, riding on the swing sets, building sand castles, skipping down the street. Huh? Watching cartoons, playing video games, having sleepovers with your friends, getting in your pajamas, your pajama jammies, having fun on planet Earth. Raise your hand if you want to have fun as a spiritual leader. Yeah! Right? Enough is enough. I go on Instagram, people are like, I'm like, flip. Because if you're not having fun, and you're not celebrating life, and you are here to be the sovereign being of divine intelligence, you represent the source code. You are here to hold the code of God in its most beautiful essence in light. It is not held in this staunchy. It is held in this woo-hoo energy, because that is what moves energy. Yes. So when you get hard on yourself, I have to ask, when you get hard on yourself, when you decide, I'm going to beat up on myself for not knowing everything. Wow. You didn't know it all. Boo-hoo. I'm going to beat you up now. Do you know the greatest time to love yourself? The greatest time to demonstrate love is when you don't know. The greatest time to demonstrate love is when you have no clue. When you are in a place of having no clue what you're doing. And you give yourself love then, and let me tell you, it changes everything. Because then you begin to realize this very important factor in life. And you know what that factor is? You know what it is? It is that you cannot evolve by being perfect. Ooh. You cannot evolve by being perfect. When you seek perfection, because you think perfection gives you love, perfection makes people like you, you don't get in trouble, you're not going to no one's going to be mad at you, you're not evolving anymore. You're letting people decide for you your fate. Because why? Because you didn't come here to be perfect. Our brothers and sisters, when we were in heaven, and we saw that our brothers and sisters were not coming home to the light, we sent a clarion call across the universe to all the planets where our brothers and sisters want to venture to create, and they didn't come home. Why aren't they coming home? We don't know. Because why? Because in heaven, everything is pure love. There's no suffering, there's no pain, there's no death. You can eat as many pizzas as you want. You can have whatever you want. You want to fly, you want to be a unicorn, whatever you want to do. Heaven is everything you can imagine a playground for a child to be like. Some of you remember it, some of you don't, some of you will. But when you left, you asked for your memories to be erased, and you asked for God and Spirit not to interfere in certain levels of pain that you needed to go through. And you ask, why? Why did I need to go through this pain? Why did I have to be molested? Why did I have to be beat? Why did I get abandoned? How come I was adopted? Blah, 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 wah, wah, wah. Is because you would never know what it was like for your brothers and sisters who fell into sleep in the darkness, how they got there. You will never be able to help them. And a lot of people have this very interesting construct on God. They have this construct which is, God is supposed to be like this, God's supposed to do this, and God's supposed to do that. And because God wasn't there for me when I needed God, when I was going through all that pain, then I guess I'm going to do this all on my own. So you become controlling, and you start orchestrating your life without counsel. When you have all these amazing spirits that surround you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that want to give you counsel, that signed up to be with you on this journey to give you counsel, but you don't seek for them because you believe no one was there for you, because you forgot that you had to get molested. You had to go through loss. You had to go through health issues. You had to go through these things because you have chosen to lift those things. And everyone has this thing about Ascension. Has anyone heard about Ascension? Oh, I love this one. Go on, raise your hand if you know about, I'm going to ascension and ascend on this planet to fifth dimensional frequencies. I know which ones you are. This ascension. Everyone wants to ascend, but everyone doesn't understand what ascension really is. You didn't come here to ascend as some intergalactic fifth dimensional being who's figured out Earth and decided to ascend because you're this master. Ascension means you've chosen to ascend the darkness into the light. So as you lift yourself from the darkness that you go through, you transmute it through alchemy, therefore lifting the darkness with you. The idea of duality no longer becomes existent, and the understanding of wholeness becomes an awareness that everything that we're scared of is the very thing we're supposed to love. So the divinity principles then shift, and your consciousness then begins to understand that you're not under attack. You're attacking yourself with your malfunction in thinking because you're thinking incorrectly. You're thinking against the source code. You're thinking against God. God doesn't know suffering. God doesn't know pain. Angels, if you ever talk to an angel doesn't know suffering and pain. If I say, Angel Michael, can you tell me about suffering? Angel Michael can't even tell me about suffering because Angel Michael exists only in one field, and that's pure love. And all God and the angels and the masters and the beings and everyone, all they do is project love at you. And that love, anything that's out of balance, that is distorted by your incorrect thinking, gets put back into rightful order. Not order like rightful order, but rightful order, yes. Liberated order, where you don't feel that something is taking dominion over your life. Someone says to me, Shaman Durek, I feel like I have a curse on me. Do I have it? I'm like, oh, you sure do. how did I get this curse on me, Shaman Durek? You just put it on you. Who put the curse on me? You. How? When you basically said, do I have a curse on me? Because if that is where your consciousness is going, you've already allowed it. Shaman Durek, am I going to run out of money? Oh, you're going to run out, baby. Is this person not my soulmate? They're not your soulmate. Shaman Durek, is things going to change for me? Because if you have to ask, you've already decided. If you have to ask, you have already decided, my love. If you have to say to me, is this person the person I'm supposed to be with? Then the answer is no, because you would know already. When my fiance came into my life, I knew she was the one. I was like, oh yeah, she's the one. Let me get out of here because I'm scared. Because that's how you know. You go like, let me get out of here. She's going to pull up all my issues. You know why? Because people think relationships is just hanging out with someone, maybe getting a little groovy, and that's it. No. That is not what your twin flame is like. That is not what your mate is like. Your mate comes in and goes, I see this, 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 and this, and this. What are we going to do? And if you're like, I don't like people telling me what to do, and I'm going to argue with you because I don't want to see those things, then you're not following the source code. Because why would you choose that person to be in your life? Why would you choose that person? Why would you choose that person if you are not ready to let them show you what's going on the other side that you cannot see? Because you're together to lift each other and evolve together. So why are you arguing with them? You're not arguing with them because you want to discover their divine intelligence. Because you're waiting for some profound insight that's going to really shake you and bring you into this profound understanding of them. You're arguing to win. Win nothing. Lose a lot. And so when we are truly ready to step in and say, you know what? I choose to be a spiritual being. Not because I do yoga or I do ayahuasca or I do any of these things. I choose to be a spiritual being because I choose to evolve. And in that evolution, anyone who speaks to me from a place of love and care, I'm going to listen. Because a lot of times men, and I'm going to say it to you, and don't worry, women, you can laugh because I'll get you too. Men think that being masculine means being strong and being brawny and being this strong alpha guy, blah, 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 blah. That isn't masculinity at all. In fact, true masculinity is one who holds space. One who holds space for divine feminine wisdom to expand in. And if that space needs to be expanded, the masculine expands that space. But when you feel like you can't hear things because you're so busy trying to defend, you're not defending against the person you love. You're only defending yourself against your own evolution. Eventually, that person's going to realize that you're not really here to evolve. And you can't be in a relationship if you don't want to evolve, can you? Huh? No. I'm sorry? No. Oh, I mean, you guys, hello? Can you be in a relationship with anyone if you are not willing to evolve? No. Huh? Right. Because if a person's not willing to evolve, there's nothing you can do. You have to keep evolving. And the only way that's going to manifest is in your desire to love unconditionally, but also honor your truth. Right? And again, that's source code. Because what is source code? Source code is everything that brings you and lifts you up. Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Take another deep breath, and on your exhale, just make the sound of ah. In that awe is God. Turn to the person next to you and say, I see you. Okay. I said, I see you. I didn't say, like, this is my address, my telephone number, or what are you going to go see later, and who else is speaking? No. I see you, and in that seeing, you are seeing God. And when you hug someone, you are hugging yourself as God. When you tell someone something beautiful about yourself, you're letting God speak through you. When you recognize something in someone, you've already seen it in yourself, or you wouldn't be able to see it in someone else. Because that is the source code. When you look at a flower and a tree and it makes you feel good, that's God. That's source code. When you're dancing and feel liberated and free, that's God. That's source code. When you tell someone says to you, I have money problems, you say, no, you don't. And I don't want to hear it anymore. You're powerful, you're prosperous, and you make money easy, and money's coming to your life right now, and you have lots of power, and you say yes to that? Yes. That's God. Yes. That's where the source code lives. The source code lives in that which liberates you, that which moves you and lifts you and takes you into a higher understanding of freedom and playfulness. That's source code. When you look in the mirror and you say you're beautiful, that's God telling you you're beautiful. You already have the voice of God inside of you. You are the voice and embodiment of God in this body, in this sovereign being that you are. Every time you open your mouth, every time you say a word, every time you say something out of your mouth that is filled with love and beauty and joy and excellence and seeing the highest level of a human being, you are speaking and honoring the source code. And when you do that, let me tell you, life changes. People I've seen have money problems. They go from completely having money problems, can't do this, can't do that. And the moment I teach them the source code and they do that for just 1 month, everything changes. Because you are making a declaration to the universe. If I see war, I do not place my mind on that war. I place my mind on the salvation of people, on the healing of people, on the transformation that this planet will never see war again. That's what I put my attention to. Doesn't mean I won't support and help what's happening in the world, but I'm not letting that emotionally affect me. Because why? What is attention? Can anyone tell me what attention means? That's right. Ooh, good remembrance, students here. Attention is intention, and intention creates. Wherever you place your attention, you're saying, yes, this is what I align with. I walk into a room, I see negative energies, I go, love. That's what I see for everyone. And all of a sudden, these people are like, we're all that energy, and all of a sudden they start opening up. One time I was at a party and my friend was DJing, and there were these two guys, and they were about to get into a fight. And I said, he goes, I guess my set's going to end soon. I go, just hold on. I'll be right back. Love, oh, sweet, sweet love. All of a sudden, my friend goes, oh my God, they're hugging each other. But if I went in like this, oh my God, look at those people, they're about to fight. God, why do people have to be so dark right now? Why do they have to be like that? All the imbalanced energies are like, let's amplify that, shall we? Right? And all of a sudden, now there's a fight and people are fighting and all these things. Why? Because you chose to not see God in that moment. You chose to be disillusioned. You chose to believe in what you saw as real. And you chose to accept its divinity, should I say its existence. Not even its divinity, its existence. Scratch that, take that, spin that around. Its existence. In that moment, you just gave energy to that fight. You see a kid, and the kid's acting up, and you're like, oh, that bad kid, oh, that bad kid, that kid's so bad. Do you know what you're doing to that kid by saying that? You are taking your power as the creator and saying, that bad kid, get badder, get worse, get crazy. Then you're like, see? Look at, nothing changes in them. I can't tell you how many times a woman has said to me, my husband will never change. I said, oh, so you're cursing him. And you had the nerve to ask me if I do voodoo and no. Woman comes to me and she says, I don't know, I've never really worked with a shaman. Do you do like dark magic or voodoo or whatever? I'm like, no, honey, I do love. And then in 2 seconds she tells me, my husband will never change. I'm like, so you are the one who's doing the cursing over here. I should ask you. Because when you say that, you are literally wanting to be right, and you are casting what is called a shadow onto that human being. And for some reason, if you have a very strong mind and a very strong will, you have now made it where they can't come out of that unless they have enough strength and people around them to show them that you've casted a shadow on them. That's what the Matrix wants. That's why the Matrix pumps all that stuff to you from media. It doesn't give you the source code. No, it just wants your mind to be busy with a bunch of, this politician, all this kind of weird energies and and you're like, all that bombardment going on, and then you have friends going, who are you supporting? Israel, Palestine, Israel, Palestine, Israel, Palestine. You're like, I support love, fool. I don't know where you're at. What do you mean? You don't choose a side? I choose love. I choose that we can come together. And anyone who doesn't step into that arena, I just let them play out their little games. I'll just sit back with my tea. Oh, look at that. Interesting. And they're still doing that. And I'm in a different body, and they're still doing that. Well, I don't choose to believe that. I choose to take my time, and I'm going to go into nature, and I am going to talk to the trees, and I'm going to project that which I want to see, and that will connect with every other person on the planet who is thinking the same thing. And now all of a sudden, that kid who's in the hospital, who's fighting for his life with cancer, all of a sudden goes into remission. Or all of a sudden, things start shifting and changing, and people are like, oh my God, this is crazy. There's so many miracles happening all over the world. You know why that miracle's happening? Because you didn't buy the lie. You didn't buy the lie. And that is what shamans want from you is to not buy the lie. Don't support it. Don't buy it. Don't believe in it. You walk in the hospital, you see someone sick, you're like, okay, that's your thing. I'm not buying this. I'm going to visualize you healthy and strong and vibrant, and I'm going to hold that. And every time I come in, I'm going to be like, look how healthy you're getting. You're strong and you're powerful. Boom, 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 boom. You're getting so powerful. Boom, 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 boom. And soon we gonna dance. Soon we gonna dance. Let me tell you something. I was in the hospital. Doctors told me that I wasn't going to be able to come out of my situation. I had brain damage. I was paralyzed. My liver was failing. My kidneys were gone. Everything. My whole system was gone. My sister, who's right there, walked in that hospital and remembered and said, this is not my brother's situation. The doctor says, you need to make plans to get his call, whatever you guys need to make plans for your family. My dad's like, okay, what kind of coffin are we going to pick out? What kind of situation? My sister was like, what? Oh, no, you guys need to get out. You got to go. And any one of the friends that showed up and looked at me as sick, she didn't let them see me. She would always say to me, you're the shaman, you're powerful, you're strong, you are pulling yourself out of this, you're healing right now, brother. You're strong, you're powerful, you're strong, you're powerful. Anyone come in the room, she's like, you better dance, you better put some oils on him, you better sing some Hare Krishna, you better do something. If you come in there, she come in that room crying, my sister's like, out, out, out. And you know what it did? It activated the light on me. She didn't let anyone cast a shadow on me. She activated the light. That's my sister, the love of my life. I refuse to accept this reality, she said. She casted the light on me, and the light spoke to me. The light told me what I needed to do to get out of there. No one was around my bed who was crying boo-hoo. There was no boo-hoo babies around my bed. There were people around my bed going, you're strong, you're powerful, you're here, you're strong, you're powerful. You have so much power. You have so much intelligence. You can pull yourself out of this. We believe in you. That's all I heard. She had people from all over the world, all of my remembrance students sent letters, and she went through all the letters. Anything that was a boohoo baby, she got rid of. She put only the words on the wall. She filled all my hospital walls with words that were like, you're strong, you're powerful, you're amazing. And that is what pulled me out. And the doctor said, how is it possible that you healed your brain damage? How are you able to use your hands again? What did you do? And when I was able to talk again, I looked at the doctor and I said, God was here in my sister, in my friends. God came by my bedside and put oil on my feet. God prayed in my ear. God spoke over me. Do you see the power I'm talking about here? When someone comes to you and tells you they have money problems, you look at them and you're like, Expecto Patronus! Are you crazy? I had to counterbalance that spell. Because you have so much power inside of you, you don't have to accept the lie that's being presented to you. You have the choice to say, no, my dear, you are more powerful than you can recognize. And I see it and I know it, and everything is changing. Until your friend can't say anything anymore. Every day you're in a relationship with someone that you love, you edify them with the principles of God's source code. You're amazing. You're so intelligent. You're such a gift to life. You have so much to offer this world. Don't hold yourself back, because you got this. That's how we talk to each other. Right? That's right. That's right. That's right. We honor God by allowing God to utilize our vessels for the beauty and the love and the spirit that we already are. There is no more excuses. There's so many books, there's so many people down this whole hallway, all kinds of people who are standing, even people in this room right now who are here, who are powerful leaders and masters. We already know what needs to be done. And it's not work. Get rid of the word work. I don't work. I don't even know what that means. I don't have a job. I don't have work. I don't have a career. I have love. I have evolution. That's it. People say, I'm working on myself. I'm like, really? I've worked on myself so much. I did all of that. I can't believe I have to do it again. That's because you were working on yourself. Evolving through, loving through, now that's a different way of using the power of that which is true and that which is in the divine. Because work is slavery. So when you say, I'm working on myself, your being is going, yeah, you sure are working on yourself. Working on yourself every day, having to dark nights of the soul. Got to deal with my inner child again. When is the good stuff going to come in? Going to this seminar, reading this book, this cold thing, and I'm freezing, shivering in the blankets. People tell me I had to jump in this cold pool. I can't even stay in for 10 seconds. Doing all this work on myself. Went to the jungle with my friends and ate stuff and was throwing up and pooping my pants. Then I met up with Tony Robbins. He put fire, said, run on this fire. It burned my feet, my toes. Now I go to the hospital and deal with all these burn marks. I've done so much work on myself, Shaman Durek, I don't even know how much more work I can do. I said, and that's the reason why you're going where you are, because you're working on yourself. Your being doesn't want to be worked on. Say out loud right now, I don't work on myself.
I don't work on myself.
I love through myself.
I love through myself.
I evolve with myself.
I evolve with myself.
I don't have a career.
I don't have a career.
I don't have a job.
I don't have a job.
I have love.
I have love.
I have love, baby.
I have love, baby.
What do you do for a living? Love. That's what you do. That's it. That's it. Because the moment you begin to operate in that level of awareness, you have taken yourself to a higher level of consciousness. You are now at a higher level of consciousness. The words that come out of your mouth, the way you think and see things, so different. People say things to you, you're like, it's interesting. That's not what I see. Would you like to know what I see? Because see, I'm not going to give people unsolicited information. Don't be those people who come up to you like this and be like, you need to work on yourself. You need to learn to love yourself. You need to learn. Sometimes I see people, they give like psychic readings and they're like, and you need to love on yourself. Sometimes I have to get into like, excuse me? Love, she has to love on herself? Didn't she show up today? Didn't she put on some clothes? Isn't that a form of love? Why does the cup always have to be empty? No, this is the continuation. Love is an evolution. You know? It's nice, it's fun, it's an evolution, it's fun. I'm not working on myself. I don't know dark night of the soul. I don't even know who made that word up. The dark night of the soul. It's like the dark night of the soul. My friends tell me, I had the dark night of the soul this whole weekend. I'm like, I don't even know what that's like, and I do not want to go to your house today. I might be eating some dark of the night of soul dinner. Would you like some water? I might have a dark of the night soul water. Who came up with that? The dark night of the soul. First of all, your soul don't even go in darkness. Your soul is your inner child. Your inner child already has all the information. The only reason why you feel abandoned is because you abandon your inner child. When you feel that sadness, people say, I got to do inner child work. No, you don't. There's no working on your inner child. Your inner child is only demonstrating how you're treating yourself. People go, oh, I have an abandonment issue from my childhood. And then I ask the spirits, and the spirit goes, well, actually, it's not about that. It's about the fact that they keep abandoning themselves, and their inner child keeps telling them. So the only way the inner child can get their attention is to make them feel that hurt and longing for the inner child's love for you to come back home to yourself. People go, oh, I have a shadow. And they treat the shadow like some crazy thing. They get crazy on it. Shaman Durek, I'm doing shadow work. Got to do the shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. I'm like, Shadow, you okay? Shadow, I don't think they understand what you are. Got to do the shadow work again. I got my shadow work book. I say, you want a break? They're getting crazy over there. And little do they know that your shadow, that you call your shadow, is your higher self in disguise. It is the light that shines into this dimension that casts a shadow of all the things that you have not come into love and acceptance with. As I say in my book, you don't take on your junkery, so you give it to your light, and your light holds it, and it becomes the shadow. So you just have to go to your shadow and say, hey, what else do I'm not taking responsibility for? And the shadow goes, well, there's this thing here in your storage, so you go with that. You ready for that? There you go. Don't kill the messenger now. Okay, because I'm your divine light who's taking on the responsibility of holding all of this that you don't want to take responsibility for until you choose to be more mature and show up with love and playfulness and joy and say, hey, Shadow, you got more for me? I'll be like, here you go. Whoa, we're almost done. We're almost done. This getting cleaned up in here. You got one more box. Here you go. And then you take it on, all of a sudden the shadow goes, behold, Shira. Because your shadow is your light, but it cannot guide you until you take responsibility for your junkery, for the things that you have not come into alignment with and say, I'm going to love this free. You know, when people get angry, you know, angry people, I'm angry. I'm a very angry person. So many horrible things have happened to me. I'm so angry. Look what that person's doing over there. They make me angry too. And that person over there, and what they're doing over there, I'm so angry. Angry people are people who enjoy suffering for other people's choices. They suffer for other people's choices. They choose to be angry because they are hurting themselves because someone else is doing something that they don't like. I just sit on my throne and I just go, I see. Okay. Well, that is not who you really are. However, you continue to choose these things, so I'm going to hold the highest vision for who you really are. And when you're ready to step into that, I have these beautiful things for you, beautiful things to offer you on my buffet table, but I'm not here to throw it down your mouth. I'm not going to come up to you and say, do this, you this, you this. No, I say, would you like to evolve a little bit more from where you are? And if the person says no, I leave them alone. Leave them alone. Yeah, what? I know, I get it. Because that's a call from God. Answer the phone. Hey, God, yeah. Do you love me? Yes. Have you ever judged me? No. Will you ever judge me? No. Do you love me? Are you proud of me? Yes. Okay, thank you. Shaman Durek, I just really want people to love me. I want people to see me and understand me and feel proud for me. I said, but didn't you just get that call from God? Isn't God telling you that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? So why do you need to hear from someone else? And also, if you're going to hear from someone else, are you hearing it from someone who's evolved? I mean, come on now. Seriously? You going to go with your problems and go talk to what? To whom? Someone who's not evolved, who's not capable of seeing above where you are at? Every single person who comes into session with me on a one-on-one, I already see them as masters. So to me, it's like a giggle. I'm like, I feel so honored that you chose me to hold this space for your remembrance. They're like, what? I'm like, yes. Because I don't see you broken. I don't see anything wrong with you. I just see that you have certain places where you need to remember. Oh. And it's not that difficult. Is it that difficult? No. Are you here to be more fun?
Yes.
Is spirituality supposed to be fun in your evolution?
Yes.
Is it okay to make mistakes?
Yes.
Yeah. I love mistakes. I love them. Love them. Because when I go through them, then I get to refine myself even more. It's beautiful, wonderful, this evolutionary process. So let's tune your energy into pure light. Say yes to everything I'm going to say to you. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
You are a divine sovereign being.
Yes.
You see now the truth that is in front of you.
Yes.
And you realize that you can change anything just by dreaming greater than the circumstance.
Yes.
You understand that when Dr. Martin Luther King said, I have a dream, it doesn't mean that he just has a dream. It means you also have a dream.
Yes.
And you are here to add to that dream.
Yes.
You are here to dream bigger and greater than you ever could imagine.
Yes.
Every day,
Yes.
every minute,
Yes.
every second.
Yes.
You align yourself with prosperity by acknowledging it every day and saying yes to it.
Yes.
You say yes to prosperity.
Yes.
You say yes to expansion.
Yes.
You say yes to abundance.
Yes.
You say yes to beautiful relationships with people who are transparent and see you and love you in higher consciousness.
Yes.
Who love you unconditionally.
Yes.
Who see you and honor you as a divine being.
Yes.
Whenever you see something that is not in the right order, or meaning that it is not with the source code, you know exactly what to say to bring it back to the source code.
Yes.
And you are shifting those frequencies and energies in your body right now.
Yes.
You are opening up your multidimensional field of consciousness
Yes.
and allowing more light to come through.
Yes.
That light is light intelligence.
Yes.
Light intelligence is love intelligence.
Yes.
Love intelligence opens everything.
Yes.
It is the divine principles of your being.
Yes.
And you know this to be true.
Yes.
You are taking a deep breath right now because you know it to be true.
Yes.
And you're allowing powerful energies from all of your ancestors, spirit guides, spirit helpers, and all the beautiful medicine women and shamans of the world and healers to bring powerful healing in your body right now.
Yes.
And you are allowing this powerful healing to move into every cell and every molecule of your body, and anything that has been distorted out of malfunction and thinking, you are putting it back into rightful order.
Yes.
Rightful order that is playful and funny and filled with love.
Yes.
You realize that you don't work, you don't have a job, you are a creator.
Yes.
You are a quantum creator.
Yes.
As you create, you illuminate.
Yes.
And you are lifting and shifting and ascending the darkness into the light.
Yes.
With your every word,
Yes.
your every thought,
Yes.
and you are beautiful. So as I said many times, I'm so happy that you have given me space to show up, to hold space for your wisdom, your power, your divine intelligence, your beauty, your strength, your transformation, your alchemy, your magic. I know who you all are. We all know who each other is. We were in heaven and we all made a choice to come here, to meet up, to find each other, and to bring this planet into the realm of light. And we're doing it. So I just want to say thank you for allowing me to come in with my buffet table and share with you my love of remembrance. I'm excited for all the amazing things that you're here to do and that we're here to do together. Let's have a grand celebration on this planet. And I honor each and every one of you masters. It's a gift to be in your presence, and I am so honored. Truly. Thank you. Ooh. Yes. Thank you, my darlings. I love you so much. Thank you for giving me space to show up and hold space for your power and your wisdom. I will be outside also signing books, and this whole weekend I'll be here. Come give me a hug, share stories. Let's enjoy this beautiful, amazing event with so many powerful lit leaders of legacy. And yes to us creating constantly beautiful, playful, wonderful, amazing experience every day. I love you.
I'm from Israel.
Miami motel.
I saw you.